Famous night, make some shots.
Oh, Jesus. 2 games in a row now.
We held them to 21 points, Lincoln, after the first 3 quarters, which is kind of crazy, but that was a buzzsaw in the first quarter.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, they went really fast. I mean, you know, more be it helped by McMahon, they were moving up and down the court. I mean, I thought that was pretty, but I mean.
Then the first 5 points of the second half, I thought we were real killers.
Yeah.
We had it at 10, Porter missed that shot, it came at 8. I really thought we had a chance, and they scored the first 5 of the second half, and then, Jesus, freaking 15 again, and you just too much to overcome.
And Hanson got that 5th foul, 6 minutes. I don't know why he didn't take her out. I'm thinking, just get 2 couple baskets in a row, get to 8, and then.
Just never did.
You're right. 3, 2, 1. That's my work computer. I'm on their YouTube.
Couldn't think it. Totally. Oh, I felt so bad. Kurt her husband. Got some of this for me. I was going to bring him some seasoning actually, but forgot it. Terrible. Posterior come out of there. MCL. Yeah, so I don't know. Pass you up.
Oh, he should be queued up, but Statham will be first, so...
Is he on the recorder also?
He's on your phone.
Oh, he's on my phone.
Yeah. Statham and Sky will both be from emails I sent you for Inside OG and him, but Kent's all queued up, so...
You ever had these nacho fries at the buck?
Nacho fries for taco.
The nacho fries. Want to try them? Sure. Right here. You gotta have the sauce.
Nacho fries. Are they?
Fries.
Is that a new thing for Taco Bell?
Yeah, it's not something we like from last year, but we keep taking away and bringing them back.
You're pretty good.
Oh yeah. You like spicy foods?
No, I'm not.
This stuff right here has some bite.
Kind of like a, Ken didn't say too much about the game last night. I interviewed him, but I mean, he said it's kind of, it's almost like a buzzsaw. They come out and hit all the shots, and but I mean, it feels like we haven't been ready to play the first 2 quarters of the last 2 girls' games.
So true.
And then when you have a team as hot as Lincoln, I mean, East wasn't.
No.
We had 4 points against East till 1 minute left in the first quarter. Tuesday night, so we played. That was a really bad first quarter for us. I mean, they've been shooting bad.
Yeah,
Ken told me, he said that he thought at the start of the third quarter, when we got down, I think it was like, well, it was 10, and then they got 5 straight points right away. So that was the part where it was just too bad because it's like, you get to 10, and then they make 5 straight points, and it's a 15-point game.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was so debilitating.
I think he's just a little bit concerned with the effort too the last couple of games. He said usually, I hope tonight we'll have a little bit, I mean, I don't know if he said it that way, but I knew what it was. More energy right at his tip, and
well, and that's the thing.
He's not even made
They didn't get the game. They didn't really do much at all, even defensively.
It was, the crazy thing was, it was team wide too. It wasn't like you would say 2 girls and then there was, I mean, I don't think any girl played with great intensity at all until you're down by 14, and then you're not making shots and you're down by 14. There's only so much ground you can make.
I agree. Totally agree.
One thing we didn't play last night, and that's not a biggie. I get it was the priest thing, but at that point the game had started. I'm just like,
I told Dan that about halfway through. Totally forgot about it.
It's not sponsored or anything, so I mean, if we're gonna,
that's why they're awful. That one's on me.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I loaded up all the prayers on everything, and then I forget to do the prayer. Like an idiot.
Well, it felt like Dan took forever in the keys to victory too, or it's like
What's that?
it felt like to me that Dan took forever in the keys to victory too. Like you have to be very long-winded on that. Just what are they in one explanation, move to the next one, and it felt like, okay, Dan, just move on.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I was saying that too.
we don't need a short novel here.
If he would have kept going, I would have stopped him. Yeah, spicy today.
Yeah, I was doing some work stuff. I brought that computer. I'm just like, wait a second. I bet you Brandon would be somewhat streaming the game somewhere. So I just looked around, and that's what I found.
Yeah,
So.
good thinking.
I mean, I know they do that Brandon, that TV stuff for football, so I'm sure they do some sort of thing for basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if their audio is on it like ours, but we'll see. The JVs for OG won. The young team for OG. JVs won like 8. They won 8 in a row. Whereas freshman A's won. They're 7-1. This John Costello is always I'm guessing that's JVs.
Yeah, it is.
Young kids coming up in the pipeline.
That's good. The girls have some good young talent too.
And if you're able to come on Tuesday, you can
Oh, yeah.
I'll try to get there pretty early. I know Jerry Reed's going to be there. I think Jerry Reed's over there. I think Gaskin's going to be there too. So kind of a spot. This is mainstream kind of right in the middle there. I think Jerry Reed's up this last year. So I kind of like that spot just for camera purposes. So I'll try that.
That's off in the corner there, right?
Yeah, it's right up in the balcony. Bad things, you don't really feed the kids up there, so that smell of food's there the whole time. It makes you hungry. They're really nice. Like, don't you want to eat it? I'll take you up.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. DVD played last night, so you can't do like our boys should have way more energy than Brandon. They got back.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That was a close game. It's the boys that won 50 to 40 or 60 to 59. So
Oh, wow.
that would have been a stressful game.
I agree. We were not much fun.
The girls put 66 to 40 last night.
No, I can't stand
Jump balls.
no the stupid ass formulas.
not Nebraska Kearney.
I think we saw a player Kearney.
Kearney. And then
Sponsored by the Sioux Falls. Welcome back to the First Premier Bank Card Night's Game Day Show.
The following is a special presentation of Real Presence Radio. On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Night's Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. For the Night's Game Day Show, here's your hosts, Michael Promes and Dan Johnson. Welcome into the Night's Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Happy Saturday, everyone. And welcome back to O'Gorman High School as we gear up for another O'Gorman Lady Knights basketball game. But tonight against the Brandon Valley Lynx, the Knights coming off of a tough loss against Lincoln here at OG last night to fall to 11-2, a 36-46 decision in a game that the Knights just never really had even in their sights. And the Brandon Valley Lynx coming off of a great win last night against Aberdeen Central over in Brandon, a 66-40 victory to give them the record record 9-2. Hey folks, Michael Promas here alongside Dan Johnson, Brett Byler. And Dan, a quick turnaround for these O'Gorman Lady Knights, about a 20-hour turnaround to be exact. There's a lot of things you got to get figured out in a short amount of time. There's a lot of preparation, a lot of rest that you have to do as well between games, and the Knights have had just a very long stretch of games over the past week. Last Saturday, they were in Rapid City for a Friday-Saturday doubleheader, and then they had a game on Tuesday against Sioux City East, a game last night, as I mentioned, and then another one here today on Saturday. I'm tired just covering the radio stuff, at least. I can't imagine playing like that.
And you didn't even go to Rapid with us.
I know. I wasn't even there.
It was a fun weekend. Even though I was with Brett, it was a fun weekend.
Right.
I got to make him smile over there. You know, he's older now. So,
but the Lady Knights have had a long week, and capping it off against a very good Brandon Valley squad, hanging up there as one of the top teams in the state. In fact, if we're looking at the media polls, they're ranked number 2 against O'Gorman's number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. Brandon Valley is a salty team. They're strong. You know, they got Trinity Law coming back. She's a senior. You know, the Wells girls, they were there last year before. Trinity is a 4-year starter. You know, she's the real deal for Brandon Valley, and the Lady Knights have their work cut out this evening against Brandon Valley Lynx.
At Trinity Law, a commit to play basketball at University of Nebraska Kearney, averaging about 10.5 points a game. But then there's also Danica Kocher, averaging almost 12 points a game, a 5'9" senior guard. I'm told that I think she's going to be committed to play at Sioux Falls USF, I believe, next year potentially. Don't quote me on that, though, but that caliber of player. And so you have a couple great players that like to shoot outside, but then you also have a pretty decent amount of size on this Brandon Valley squad, especially thanks to the 6'3" senior center, Haley Piper, number 54.
Yeah, we're going to have fun watching these gals go back and forth. Even though you give a little bit of height advantage to O'Gorman, but I'll tell you what, Brandon Valley can move fast. They really pressure the ball. They bring the ball down the court and transition very well, just like Lincoln did last night, and that's one thing we're going to have to stop is control the ball game.
You're listening to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Gearing up for the O'Gorman Lady Knights to take on Brandon Valley here tonight. But let's take a look at the other games going on throughout the state as well. Now it's time for your scoreboard update, sponsored by Jamison Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor. Value Visor helps people and businesses discover, improve, and get value from their businesses. Jamison can be reached at 605-370-6931 or online at valuevisor.com. Real estate through Murphy, business to go to Lakes.
AA girls this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Pierre, it was down in Yankton. Yankton Gazelles won 57-38 over Pierre. A little bit later tonight, the Harrisburg Tigers, which we'll see this next week, is up playing the Arrows of Watertown, and Rapid City Stevens is out down in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, playing them tonight. And then that's AA girls. AA boys, Harrisburg was at Sioux Falls, Washington this afternoon, 3 o'clock. Harrisburg boys came out on top 65-64 over the Warriors at the Washington High this afternoon. What a game. I kind of listened to that on the way over here.
Likewise.
And then we have the O'Gorman boys, 8-4, taking on number 4, Brandon Valley. Same time, 5 o'clock, out at Brandon Valley tonight. We'll be watching at Yankton, which got beat last night by Roosevelt, number 3, as they traveled to Pierre tonight play. And Stevens is down at Scottsbluff, Nebraska as well. This afternoon, the O'Gorman JV won 58-37, and the sophomores just got done here. Brandon Valley won 55-52. And girls and boys, the JV O'Gorman boys, 44, Brandon Valley 36, and the freshmen O'Gorman won. They're now 7-1. John Costello had 20 points for the freshmen.
That's impressive.
Remember that name?
A lot of some JP kid.
JP's little brother.
That's a look at your scoreboard update. Again, sponsored by Jamison Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor. We'll step aside when we come back to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. We're going to hear from Brandon Valley head coach Mark Statham. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Value Visor helps people and businesses discover, improve, and get the value from their businesses. With multi-certified valuation and mergers and acquisition advisors, they understand the complexities of valuations and negotiating in the mergers and acquisitions marketplace. For more information, you can contact Jamison Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor, at 605-370-6931 or online at valuevisor.com. Real estate through Murphy Business, Dakota Lakes.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier Way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Welcome back to the First Premier Bank Card Knights Game Day Show. I'm now joined by Brandon Valley girls basketball coach Mark Statham. Coach, your girls fell to Lincoln in your last contest Thursday night, 51-43. A game where your girls only shot 26% in the ball game. Offensively, was it more what Lincoln was doing defensively, or more your team just not executing as well as you'd like to?
We got the shots we wanted. We had the people shoot them. We just didn't knock them in. We did the same thing against Harrisburg on Tuesday night and ended up pulling that one out. We just didn't shoot the ball well that week. And that happens sometimes in basketball. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. And that was the night when it didn't go in for us.
Defensively, did you like how your girls played against Lincoln, Coach?
At times. Really, in the first quarter, I didn't really like our intensity at all. I don't know if it was a hangover from the game before or what was going on, but we really didn't come out with the energy and effort we needed to compete against a team like that. So after we got that kind of straightened out, I thought we did a much better job defensively.
Trinity Law is a girl that has been playing for you since her freshman year. She's now a senior. What do you see as her biggest improvement now during her senior year compared to her freshman and sophomore years?
In her freshman-sophomore year, she was playing more of a wing position. With the loss of Christy Bickley these last 2 years, we've had to move her to the point. So she's had to become more of a complete player. As a point guard, she just can't focus on just her scoring and so forth. And she's taken fewer shots per game, but her assists and stuff have come up when we put the ball in her hands more. And she's really kind of driving our break. When we can get her going with her running the floor, pushing the basketball, she really drives kind of what we do with our transition offensively.
Now to tonight's game, Coach, against Sioux Falls O'Gorman, a team that your girls beat in the first round of the state tournament last year. This O'Gorman team features Emma Ronsick, averaging about 17 points a game. Similar size and build to Morgan Hansen, a girl that had a big second half against you the other night. Defensively, what do you have to do against Emma to try to limit her as much as possible?
We're just going to have to work really hard. We don't have girls that size, and girls that size with that type of athleticism will always give us trouble. We're just going to have to make her try to work hard every possession, and she's going to have to work just to get her points. But we just have to try to make her really, really work for them, and then be really solid around where we aren't spending so much time on her that we're giving up points to other people. We've got to do a good job on them too to try to limit their opportunities.
What are the biggest challenges O'Gorman's defense presents to your offense, Coach?
Well, with their length, the way they play that zone, that length causes some problems. I think it causes everybody problems with the way they defend people. Our ball movement's going to have to be excellent against them. If we just stand and hold the ball or dribble the ball and don't move it, that allows that zone to really kind of dig in and make every shot difficult against the shot clock.
And finally, a couple of keys to victory for your girls, Coach, and I'm guessing one might be rebounding. How important will that be tonight?
That'll be really, really important. We've got to do a good job because we're going to be undersized. They're going to have the advantage in the paint on us with their length and so forth. So we've got to do a good job of finding them early and trying to keep them out of the paint. We've got to be able to get up and down in transition. We're more comfortable playing that way. If we get locked in a half-court battle with them where they can really dig in, I think that can cause us some problems.
Thank you so much, Coach Statham, for your time, and good luck tonight against Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
Okay, thanks, Brett.
That was Brett Byler sitting down with Brandon Valley head coach Mark Statham, his 22nd year coaching the Brandon Valley Lynx. And you're listening to the Night's Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll hear from O'Gorman girls head coach Kent Colzer. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life, whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or an insurance analysis. Please call Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. Andrew DeMore and Thaddeus Barnes, financial advisors with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office, know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. Andrew and Thad can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs. Andrew and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Welcome back to the Knights Game Day Show, brought to you by First Premier Bank Card. I'm now joined by Sioux Falls O'Gorman girls coach Kent Colesruth. Coach, your girls coming off a tough loss last night to Sioux Falls Lincoln, the first loss to a South Dakota opponent this year, 46-36. And you kind of look at that game. First quarter, they outscored us 25-11. Just made a lot of shots inside and outside. It kind of just felt like maybe like the start of the East game, where we were just not really clicking on all cylinders, but in that case, Lincoln was making all their shots. Let's talk about the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a tough quarter for sure. Give credit to Sioux Falls Lincoln first. Boy, they just came out hot. I think a little of that momentum carried over from the big win, the last second shot the night before, and they were really excited and enthusiastic to play, and knocked in shots earlier, which really helps with the enthusiasm. And I thought they played a great first quarter, and we didn't do as good a job defensively, doing some things that we would like to do. Offensively, we scored 11, but I felt like we left some points out there as well. And gosh, against a team like that, it's tough to overcome. And I thought our kids kind of kept battling the rest of the way. We did tighten down defensively the next three quarters. When we were down 10 at half, I felt like we had a chance to get back in the basketball game in the third quarter there. And they come out and score the first 5 points of the third quarter, and it just was too much to overcome. But I thought our kids played hard. I thought we did some good things. We didn't shoot the basketball very well, and that's kind of 2 games in a row here. So we'll have to rebound today again.
And the looks you were getting offensively, I think after the first quarter and a half, we kind of cut down the turnovers and some of those cross-court passes and stuff, and it felt like most in the second half. You had the right girls shooting, but similar story to East, where it maybe wasn't as much as what they were doing defensively. It's just the lack of being able to get a shot to go in, or just get a couple of shots to go in a row to get some of that momentum going.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Brett. We had too many turnovers for the game. In particular, as you mentioned, a few of those in transition and just Mickey Mouse things. We got to clean up, do a little bit better job. But I agree. In the second half, I thought we were getting really good looks. We had good shooters shooting open perimeter shots. I thought we were getting the ball to the paint. We did score in the paint at times. We missed some shots at times, but I thought as far as executing was a lot better in the second half. Again, I thought we were going to make a run back at them, but we just couldn't get enough stops there and quite get over the hump to really make a battle at it.
Now you look at Brandon Valley tonight, Coach. They're coming into this game ranked number 2 in state, right behind us, 9-2 in the season. And one thing we know with Brandon Valley, they're going to play really tough defense, not as tall as us, but it feels like it's a team that's very well coached, knows what we're going to do. What stands out to you about this year's Brandon team that returns a couple of really key players from last year's 4th place team in state?
Yeah, Coach Statham always does a great job with them. They're going to play physical, they're going to play aggressive, they're going to play full court defensive pressure, they're going to get out in transition, very disruptive type of team, and really try to take you out of your stuff. So going to be really, really key that we play mentally and physically tough tonight. You can't let that type of play frustrate you. You got to be physically strong with the ball. You got to keep it off your head. You got to face up and rip through and be strong with it, and really not allow them to push you out of your stuff. That's going to be really, really important. They're a tough team to run quick hitters against. You got to kind of just play, kind of run some motion type of principles. But big thing I think is how are our kids going to rebound from last night? Are we going to play with the enthusiasm that we need to play with and execute? And I'd be really disappointed and really surprised if we don't come out, really excited to play. Now, it doesn't mean things are going to go right, but we better be ready to go right out of the gates for sure.
How important is it to get maybe some easy looks and get a couple of quick baskets right away? Because it feels like sometimes when the girls, your high school kids, you see the ball go in the hole right away, it kind of carries over, affects other parts of the game as well, especially as slow start we've got off to the last 2 ball games.
That'd be huge, Brett, if we could get off to a good start on both ends of the court. And again, like you said, find a way to get some easy baskets, offensive rebound, putback, or transition, or step up and knock in some free throws, which is an area we've really struggled at, the last couple of weeks in particular. and just kind of get ourselves rolling a little bit. And if that doesn't happen, we just got to find ways to fight through it. And certainly going to have to be really solid defensively as well. Trinity Law and Kosher are really, really good players. Got a really nice supporting cast along with them. So we knew coming into the year they're a very, very good basketball team. We think we are as well. So it should be a great battle today.
Look forward to seeing it, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Brett.
That was Brett Byler sitting down with O'Gorman girls head coach Kent Colesrud in his 21st year coaching these now 11-2 O'Gorman Lady Knights. You're listening to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Gearing up for OG versus Brandon Valley, but let's take a look at the keys to victory for the O'Gorman Knights tonight. Sponsored by John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company. Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses plan for retirement. John Fritsch can be reached at 605-334-8086. And Mr. Johnson, what do you have for us?
Well, after last night, number one, and Coach kind of said it, but we had this down for more energy. Need to come out a little bit more energy, and hopefully they come out that way tonight and play better. They had some good looks last night, but shoot a little bit better. We need to score the baskets, but shoot better. Number 3, protect the ball, turnovers, which we did not do last night. 4, we have the height advantage, but we need to get the ball into the paint. So we need to bring the ball up in transition to get it into the paint so we can get down low and stuff and work it inside. So, both teams are pretty evenly matched. We're both averaging, 50-some points a game. Other than last night, we dropped down a little bit. 1-2 in the state. We're 11-2. They're 9-2. Both pretty good evenly matched. We got the height advantage. But, again, Brandon Valley can run and stuff, so we need to be back in transition, defend that. So they're just going to have to play better basketball.
Those are your keys to victory, again, sponsored by John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company. You've been listening to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. We'll step aside when we come back. Tip-off for tonight's game, the O'Gorman Lady Knights versus the Brandon Valley Lynx. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Sport involves more than the movement of the body. It demands intelligence and the disciplining of human will. It reveals the wonderful structure of the human person, a spiritual being, a unity of body and soul, created by God. On Real Presence Radio, this is O'Gorman Knights basketball. Today's game is brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Hagen Chiropractic Clinic, Mini Critters, Barnett Vision Clinic, Crossroads, the Barnes DeMoore Group Financial Advisors at Morgan Stanley, Sioux Falls Catholic Schools, Jeff Alvey with Fair Tax Inc., John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company, Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agent Heath Dickelman, Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street, First Premier Bank Card, Sioux Equipment Company, I. Bailey, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Mark Promis with Providence Financial, Big Rig Barbecue, and Jameson Rounds Managing Partner of Value Visor.
With all the exciting action of O'Gorman Knights basketball, here's Michael Promis and Dan Johnson.
Welcome one and all to O'Gorman High School as we're ready for another O'Gorman Lady Knights basketball matchup tonight. They host the Brandon Valley Lynx at O'Gorman High School. Hey folks, Michael Bromas here alongside Dan Johnson. The Knights at 11-2 on the season. Brandon Valley at 9-2. Both teams had a game last night. It went well for Brandon Valley, 66-40 over Aberdeen. Not so much for the Knights. They fell 36-46 against Sioux Falls Lincoln. Announcing the players on the floor, we'll get right to those starting lineups, but let's start off this game the way we should begin all good things.
This is Father Joseph Scholten, chaplain of O'Gorman High School. Let us pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, your Son Jesus taught us to strive to enter through the narrow gate. As we begin this game, help us to strive to serve him in all things. Help us to use the talents that you have given us to glorify you. We ask for your protection on all players and your blessing upon all coaches and fans, that they would engage in this game with charity and joy. May the players play to their best of their ability, glorifying you in all things through your Son Jesus, who is Lord forever and ever. Amen.
All right, Father, thank you very much. Let's get to those starting lineups then for tonight's game. Sponsored by the Barnes DeMoore Group, financial advisors at Morgan Stanley in Sioux Falls. The Barnes DeMoore Group can be reached at 605-338-6500. Located at 300 Sharapa Place, Suite 503 in Sioux Falls. Products and services by Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC. Member SIPC. Start with the away team, the Brandon Valley Lynx. Starting for the Lynx under Mark Statham tonight is number 30, Lauren Wells, a 5'7" senior guard. Number 32, Danica Kocher, a 5'9" senior guard. Number 40, Hannah Behrens, a 5'11" junior center. Number 42, Ashley Wells, a 5'9" senior guard. And number 44, Trinity Law, a 5'9" senior guard. Here's the tip to start things off, and the Knights start things off at O'Gorman High School. And Dan, who are those starters for the Knights?
Number 4, senior Abigail Muller. Number 5, Riley Benson. Number 10, junior 5'6", Carly Kunkel. Number 23, Awati Akoy, 6'2", senior. And rounding out, number 31, the 6'1", junior, Emma Ronzik.
The Knights moving from my left, or right, to my left. Brandon Valley will be moving from left to right, and we'll be looking at the baskets here on the call for our folks listening on the radio. If you're listening on YouTube, it's kind of more of an up and down action, but you get the picture. The Knights not able to capitalize on their first possession. Carly Kunkel in the right corner missed a three, so we're on the other side of the floor. Brandon Valley, right wing, is Trinity Law. Checks it down inside to Wells. Wells pitches it off to Ashley Wells, excuse me. We have a couple Wells, a Lauren Wells and an Ashley Wells on the floor. They are sisters from what I understand. And so we'll say Ashley and Lauren Wells just to clarify. Foul's going to be called on OG inside. That will be on Riley Benson, picking up her first foul of the game, first team foul for the O'Gorman Knights. So Brandon Valley will inbound right side of the lane. Inbound goes to Trinity Law. Law hands it over to Behrens. Behrens looking inside at the right block, guarded by Akoy. Checks it back out right corner to Law. Law up top, gets it back, long three, little wide, and rebounded by Carly Kunkel for OG.
You know, we talked a little bit, Brandon Valley's not afraid to shoot, and they'll put it up.
The Knights working it inside to Awati Akoy. She goes to the basket. It's going to be fouled on the shot from the left side. No good on the shot, but she'll step up to the line to shoot a couple. The O'Gorman Lady Knights in their home white jerseys, blue numbers and letters with gold trim, blue and gold stripes horizontally along the legs with pin stripes. Brandon Valley in their away black jerseys, red numbers and letters, and white trim as Awati Akoy hits her first point of the game and the first point for either team in tonight's matchup with 6:47 to play in the first quarter. Akoy readies her second, dribbles once, puts it up, and gets two. Knights up over Brandon Valley, 2-0 here at O'Gorman High School. Good turnout from both sides. It could be a little bit thicker over on that student section, but we'll give them a pass, I suppose. Over on the right corner for Brandon Valley is Lauren Wells. Lauren up top to her sister Ashley. Trinity Law gets it over in the left wing, but she'll be called for a travel as she tries to move inside. The Knights get it right back.
That's unlike her. She's a good ball player, you know. Mental mistake by Trinity Law.
Law committed to play at University of Nebraska in Kearney, Nebraska. Nice little town, good little school, about 6 hours southwest of here. Emma Ronzik at the top of the key, loses the ball, almost looks like she slipped. Here's Trinity Law, then coast to coast, right-handed layup is no good. Too much onion on that layup, and the Knights get the rebound. Fast break down the court. Here's Muller, left wing. Muller bounce passes to Akoy at the free throw line. She makes a move to the basket. Left-handed layup is no good. Looks like it might have been tipped by Hannah Behrens. Law throws it all the way down court, down to the left corner to Ashley Wells. 3 up, airs it out, but a rebound by Lauren Wells. It's going to be kicked out right wing to Kocher. Inside jumper, no good for 2 from Hannah Behrens, and Ronsick gets the rebound.
A lot of missed shots by both teams, Michael.
5:40 to play in this first quarter. Knights leading 2-0 over Brandon Valley. Abigail Muller right in front of the scorers table, cross half court, dribbles over right wing, tries to find Benson down in the right corner, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds by Law. The Knights will reset with an inbound.
Okay, we got 3 coming in. Reagan Riley, Isabel Moore, and Courtney Bruce is now in. Benson, Owati, Okoye, and Abigail Muller taking a breather here with 5:30 in the first quarter.
Lineup stays the same on the Brandon Valley side of things. And Reagan Riley will inbound to Carly Kunkel. Get things going again. 20 seconds on the shot clock as Carly Kunkel moves to the top of the key, kicks it to Moore, left wing, then left corner to Riley. Riley up top to Baruth. Baruth tries to check it inside. It's blocked. Baruth tries to grab it again. And there's going to be a push called on OG as hitting the floor is Hannah Behrens, the 5'11 senior center. They're going to call that one on Courtney Baruth, her first of the game. Second team foul for OG.
But you could see Emma calling for it inside there, and she was open, and they have to look down low. They have to keep an eye on her.
5:10 to play in the first quarter. Knights leading 2-0. Law at the top of the key, dumps it inside to Barron. She turns around, puts it up, gets the 2, but she's going to be called for a shove before she shot. Back to OG. Shot's no good.
No, that was a good call. So 2 fouls now on Behrens. Right away, right off shoot here with 3 minutes in the game. She got 2 fouls.
She checks out. Haley Piper, the 6'3 senior center, the tallest girl on this BV squad, steps in. Emma Ronsick crossing half court for OG after the inbound. Dribbles over left wing, picks up her dribble, and hands it over to Baruth at the top. Baruth looks inside, holding the ball, bounces it into Ronsick in the middle of the lane. She's triple team, kicks it out to Kunkel right wing. She starts to dribble, moves inside, takes a jumper mid-lane, in and out. It looked like it should have fell in. It kept bouncing and fell out, and a foul is going to be called on OG. No,
out of bounds.
Out of bounds, excuse me.
Wasn't half the ball underneath the rim and then came back out?
It was.
It kind of looked that way.
Somebody overinflated the basketball, I think, before the
game. That rim's never been good.
Not all season, and I don't say that just because making excuses. It's weird, folks. We've been watching a lot of games. Piper missed shot on the right side of the baseline. No good for 2. 4:20 to play in this first quarter. Back to OG as they lead 2-0. Here's Emma Ronsick left wing, dribbling up top, then inside to the basket. Right side layup is blocked, but there's Baruth to grab it back. She goes to the basket. Left side, shot's no good, but she's going to draw a foul on the shot. She'll go to line to shoot 2.
I think it's going to be on Piper.
Yes, sir. Haley Piper, again, the 6'3 senior center, picks up her first foul of the game. Third team foul for the Brandon Valley Lynx.
In 43, Courtney Bruce Sr. will now go to the line, shoot 2.
Ruth had a rough time shooting free throws last night, puts up her first one a little bit off her mark. About a 50% free throw shooter, but in a bit of a drought here the past couple games.
She hasn't been in the line that much this year, though.
No, she really hasn't.
No.
Really only averaging about 1 free throw shot a game. About every other game she's at the line to shoot a couple. Second shot's no good. Score means 2-0 halfway through this first quarter. And needless to say, low-scoring affair to start things off here at O'Gorman High School. Over on the left wing, Ashley Wells rotates it around to the right wing to Lauren Wells. Ashley Wells gets it back. Ashley at the top, kicks it over right wing to Piper. Piper up top to Law. Law over right wing to Kocher. Kocher steps down to the right corner. 3 up, no good. Rebounded by Ronsick. Ronsick in transition, moving past Ashley Wells. Ronsick moves over right wing, picks up her dribble, needs help. Wells is playing close, kicks it to Riley left wing. Riley dribbles up top, takes the pick from Baruth, finds Hannah Ronsick in for the first time tonight over on the right wing, but she's pinned against the sideline. 15 seconds on the shot clock. They rotate it to the left wing. Reagan Riley 3 up. It bounces on the rim, but falls out. 3:20 to play. Score remains 2-0 in transition. Lauren Wells to the basket, hesitates, puts it up, no good on the shot. And a clean rebound by Emma Ronsick.
Great defense by Izzy Moore coming down. She stood her ground, made her go around her.
Moore passes in. Baruth under the basket. Good for 2. First field goal of the night. And first points of the night for Courtney Baruth. 4-0 Knights, under 3 to play in the first quarter. Over on the left wing for Brandon, Lauren Wells. Lauren, spin move inside, tries to bounce it away to Piper, but a travel's going to be called on Lauren Wells. back to OG.
Well, she turned right into Courtney Bruth and, kind of scared her, I bet.
I think so.
I'm sorry, but she wasn't expecting Courtney to be half position right there.
And let's be honest, Bruce's got like 5 inches on her.
Yeah.
Bit of press coming in here from Brandon Valley, Eventually, Emma Ronsick is able to inbound it to Reagan Riley. She gets it back, and Ronsick crosses half court. Ronsick dribbling over right wing. That's Emma Ronsick, by the way. Hannah and Emma are in sisters on this OG team. She hands it over to Reagan Riley. Ronsick gets it back in the right corner, steps up to the right wing. 3 up, a little too much power on it. Rebounded by Courtney Baruth. She moves out to the right post, right corner, hands it to Moore. 3 up and good!
There we go.
Izzy Moore's first points of the game. The first three-pointer the Knights have completed in the past 2 games. And a timeout called on Brandon Valley as the Knights lead 7-0, 2:20 to play in the first quarter. We'll step aside for 1 minute. This is O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Fairtex Inc. is a locally owned and operated tax and bookkeeping company serving Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. We prepare tax returns for individuals and businesses and provide a range of financial services for small businesses. Fairtex Inc. is located at 1727 South Cleveland Avenue and can be reached at 605-336-1669 and online at fairtexinc.com. Member NATP and NAEA.
Pregnant. One word, many emotions. Catholic Family Services provides free and confidential counseling to birth parents regardless of faith or ethnic origin. The birth parents will receive information and resources to help make the right decision for them. To inquire about the process, speak with the pregnancy counselor or schedule an appointment, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775 or email cfs@sfcatholic.org.
Back at O'Gorman High School, Brandon Valley battling OG. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Over on the left wing is Tricroni. She checks it back up top. Tricroni gets it back looking inside. That's Scop. She fires up a last-second 3 shot clock violation as it hits the backboard, falls out. Back to OG, and a good defensive stand this time by OG.
Oh, what an excellent defense by the Knights here down there underneath Brandon Valley basket.
$1.45 to play in this first quarter. Knights leading Brandon Valley 7-0 as Emma Ronsick crosses half court, finds Moeller right corner. Knights moving from right to left, Brandon Valley left to right, and here's Kunkel right wing off the pass. Almost stolen away, but she hands it back to Moeller right corner. Moeller drives baseline, throws it to Okoye inside, but it's going to be swiftly stolen away by Jarowski.
Be a foul on OG. Anawati.
Yes, sir. Picking up her first of the game. 13 foul now for OG. Foul picked up in transition. Brandon Valley will inbound in the back court. Here's Trinity Law crossing half court for the Lynx. A 5'9" senior guard checks it right wing into the hands of Jarowski. Jarowski rotates it around to Skop over on the left wing. Skop loses the ball, but is able to grab it back. Hands it off to Law. Law moves up top. Law loses the ball herself. Some messy dribbling here from Brandon Valley, but she's able to get into Piper. Piper tries to check it in, but it's stolen away from Kocher by Emma Ronsick. Ronsick outlets to Muller. Muller to the basket. Right-handed layup. Too much power. It's tipped away, and Brandon Valley has it back with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sprinting across half court, Danica Kocher for the Lynx, stops at the free throw line, kicks it out right wing to Law. Law pulls up 3, just off her mark, tipped by Okoye, but scooped up by Brandon Valley, and a travel is going to be called on Emma Jarowski as she took another step as she was trying to pass it away. Wati Okoye just kind of got in her way, and she couldn't help herself, but make sure she didn't fall over.
Okay, who's in now? Izzy Moore is, and Reagan Riley's back in there, so
Emma Ronsick and Benson take a seat for OG. Carly Kunkel inbounds to Moore, then gets it back as she crosses half court, then finds Moore left wing. Kunkel hits the deck, but Moore throws it up top to Muller. Kunkel's up, she gets the pass over on the left wing, dribbles inside, slips, hits the deck, and going to be called for a travel as she slid across the floor. Almost looked like she might have hit her face on the floor.
Ouch.
I think she did a little bit. It's a little red on the right side, but she's okay.
She's tough.
21.8 seconds to play in this first quarter. Knights lead 7-8. Final offensive possession here for Brandon Valley. Mara Skop crossing half court for Brandon Valley, 5'6" junior guard, and she's going to be called for a double dribble. She kind of hesitated as she was guarded by Carly Kunkel and crossing that OG shield, and that hesitation unfortunately led to a double dribble.
A lot of mental mistakes. A lot of fundamental mistakes, you know.
And really on both sides.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
O'Gorman's just hitting their shots, and Brandon Valley isn't. 8 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Here's Izzy Moore, top of the key. 5 seconds now. She picks up her dribble, hands it over to Reagan Riley. 2 seconds. She throws up a crazy shot from up top. No good. Buzzer sounds, and after the end of the first quarter, the O'Gorman Knights lead Brandon Valley 7-0. We'll step aside and be back with more basketball right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. I'm Andy Demore, financial advisor with the Barnes Demore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office. Thad Barnes and myself know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. We can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs.
Andy and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC.
Big Rig Barbecue brings a Texas-style barbecue to South Dakota. They use a real wood smoker for all their meats every single day. Big Rig Barbecue serves sliced brisket, pulled pork, chicken, and ribs. They offer pre-orders for smaller events and gatherings and cater for large events including parties, meetings, and graduations. Big Rig Barbecue's new sit-down location is on the corner of 41st and Minnesota. Their website, bigrigbbbq.net.
Start of the second quarter here at O'Gorman High School. O'Gorman Lady Knights leading Brandon Valley 7-0. Brandon Valley starts things off here, trying to get this offense going here. It's either been O'Gorman's tenacious defense or Brandon Valley just not able to hit their shots. Either way, here's Ashley Wells over on the right wing for Brandon Valley. Just lost the ball. Dribbles up top, 12 seconds on the shot clock, goes left side, good! From the left-handed layup. So, just as I mentioned that, Brandon Valley picks up their first 2 points of the night.
Is that the first time the balls maybe hit the rim?
I think so, actually.
Most of their shots have been off. Haven't even touched the rim, so...
Back on OG's side, Carly Kunkel left wing, tries to work it inside, but there's Hannah Behrens in the way to knock it out of bounds. The Knights will have to inbound on the baseline as Riley Benson and Courtney Bruce check in for Awati Okoye, and Abigail Muller.
In keys of victory, we talked about that, where they got to get the ball in, but they got to get the ball in there, into the paint, and they got to make a good, crisp pass in there.
Kunkel slaps the ball. Knights moving right to left as Kunkel inbounds. Sam Aronsick at the free throw line. Looking at the basket is Courtney Baruth at the free throw line. She's going to be called for a travel, trying to work it inside. Just got a little bit too excited there before the pass.
And there's Carly down on the floor again. She's Riley Benson today.
Absolutely, absolutely. We welcome all of our Brandon Valley listeners, both on the radio and on YouTube. Thanks so much for listening. We'll also keep you up to date on the O'Gorman boys versus Brandon Valley Lynx in Brandon. We're actually watching that game on YouTube right now ourselves. Get you the most up-to-date information for that game. Brandon Valley trying to work. A pitch to Lauren Wells is muffed. Izzy Moore knocks it away, and the Knights get it back on their side. Here's Carly Kunkel, top of the key, finds Moore right wing. Then down to Benson, right corner. She fires the three, a little short. It's tipped out. No, saved by Lauren Wells. Wells in transition down the right side of the floor. Ronsick steps up to contest. Lauren at the top, kicks it over left wing to Skop. Skop inside to Hannah Behrens, and a travel called on Behrens.
She traveled when she pivoted to go around Courtney. She traveled, so...
And that's probably about a half a dozen travel calls between these two teams so far tonight. 6:30 to play in the second quarter. Knights leading Brandon Valley 7-2 here at OG. Emma Ronsick crossing half court for the Knights, finds Izzy Moore to her right, who then hands it off to Riley Benson. Benson up top to Ronsick, who then kicks it over to Carly Kunkel to the left. Inside, Courtney Baruth spins around, puts it up mid-lane, no good. But there's Moore and Benson to step in. They're wrestling for the ball between each other. Emma Ronsick gets the ball on the right wing, checks it in the back court. We're going to say it was not tipped. It should have been over and back call on OG, but nothing called as Izzy Moore is over on the left wing, slips, and a timeout called on the Knights. So 20 seconds on the shot clock, 5:58 to play in the second quarter. Knights leading 7-2.
Wow. That was
There was probably 2 missed calls there that should have been on OG. A travel on Emma Ronsick as she grabbed the ball and turned over on the floor. She did displace herself from a set position, which is a travel without dribbling, and then she threw it into the back cart to try to check it away. Carly Kunkel went back and got it, and they didn't call the over and back. And you can see Brandon Valley faithful just exploding, and rightfully so.
That's understandable, but it's emotions here. Both teams, one, number 2 in the state this week.
And Brandon Valley's defense has been extra special here so far in this second quarter. A lot sturdier than we saw in that first quarter, Dan.
Oh, definitely. But Brandon Valley's missed a lot of shots. We talked about that earlier and stuff. So, I mean, it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to be a fun game.
Ronsick will inbound in front of, the Knights adult seating. Throws it up top to Reagan Riley, and in for the first time tonight. Over on the right wing is Jakalenga Wenentanda, number 15, a 5'11 freshman guard. Up top to Ronsick. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Carly Kunkel right wing. Inside to Ronsick. She's double teamed, but gets the pass. Flips it up. Good for 2 at the last second. 9-2 OG, 5:35 to play in the second quarter. Long pass, though, down court. Finds Lauren Wells over on the right block. She pitches it off to Behrens. Behrens' shot no good from the right side, and back to OG on the rebound. Here's Wenentanda getting the pass over on the right wing. Steps in, jumper from the free throw line. Good for 2. Wenentanda picking up her first points of the game. Knights leading 11-2, 5:17 to play in the second quarter, and head coach Mark Statham needs a timeout. We'll step aside as well. This is O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, this is Mark Konzemius. In 1987, Bishop Paul Dudley and a group of business leaders started the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota to help raise, manage, and distribute God's gifts as determined by donors' intent. 28 years later, we continue to grow their vision and legacy of faith. Many choose the Catholic Community Foundation for their charitable giving because of our commitment to Catholic, moral, and social values. Learn more about how you can leave a legacy of faith through the Catholic Community Foundation at 605-988-3788 or visit cfesd.org.
Eide Bailey, a public accounting firm, provides taxes, accounting, assurance, and business advisory services to clients across the nation. With offices in Sioux Falls and 33 locations in 14 states, Eide Bailey is the workplace to 2,000 professionals. The firm has been serving clients for over 100 years. You can contact Eide Bailey online at eidebailey.com. Eide Bailey is a proud supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Back on the floor here at O'Gorman High School, 5:15 to play in this second quarter. The Knights leading the Lynx 11-2, but here's Trinity Law for a long 2 from the right wing. No good. Rebounded by Emma Ronsick. Brandon Valley really trying to speed up this offense, but the Knights going to try to contest that with the defense. At the top of the key is Courtney Baruth for OG. She checks it left, then back up top to Carly Kunkel. Then pass back down to Reagan Riley in the left corner. Rotated around to the right wing to Wenentanda. Inside pass to Emma Ronsick, stolen away by Kocher. Kocher stops in transition and hands it off to Ashley Wells.
That's 2 now in going into the paint. They took away.
Wells kicks it down to the left corner. Behrens 3 up and aired out. Picked up by Wenentanda. Wenentanda down the left side of the floor. Looking inside. Stops at the left wing and throws it down to Carly Kunkel, left corner. Kunkel has the ball knocked out of her hands and taken away by Behrens. Behrens pitches it off to Trinity Law down the right side of the floor. On the sprint to the basket. Shot up. No good. But a foul's going to be called on OG.
I believe that's going to be on Reagan Riley. No, it's on Carly.
Kunkel picks up her first foul of the game. 4th team foul now for these O'Gorman Knights. And at the line is Trinity Law, 5'9" senior guard. At the line for the first time tonight. Dribbles a couple of times with the right hand, bent the knee, flick the wrist up and out. No good. Coming in for OG, so Watia Coy, Izzy Moore stepping out, Carly Kunkel, and Courtney Baruth. And we're seeing a faster rotation here from these O'Gorman Knights tonight than we saw really in the past couple weeks. Maybe just to try to keep those legs fresh potentially, keep everybody rested. Law's second shot up, nice backspin, and it falls in. Picks up her first points of the game. And Brandon Valley tightens it up 11-3. Knights still leading though. 4:10 to play in this second quarter. Here's Emirancic crossing half court for OG down the middle of the floor. Finds Wenentanda right wing. Wenentanda looking inside, but dribbles up top. Throws it to Reagan Riley right wing. Some tight defense being played here by Brandon Valley. A lot more aggressive than we've seen. Inside pass to Roncic, left block. She tries to back down her defender, but finds Okoye at the free throw line. Back into Roncic in the middle of the lane, but it's going to be stripped out of her hands. And Brandon Valley is in pursuit. Down the left wing, Lauren Wells. She'll stop, throw it inside to the basket is Kocher, but no, at the last second, kicks it out right wing. It's a Law. Around the arc to the left wing, and a three up by Kocher, no good, and a rebound by Kocher. We call foul, though, on Wenentanda, playing a little too close to the 5'9" senior guard. That's her first of the game. 15th foul now for the Knights.
Hey, Riley comes out. Benson back in now for the Knights.
Brandon Valley inbounds left side of the baseline. It goes in to Ashley Wells. She drives in. Left-handed layup is no good. Back to OG off the rebound. Long pass to Izzy Moore down the floor. She's going to be blocked under the basket, but they're going to call foul.
On 44, Trinity Law.
Be Law's first foul of the game. 14th foul now for Brandon Valley. And at the line, Izzy Moore, 5'7" sophomore guard, about a 62% free throw shooter. Gets the line about 2 times a game as well. First shot up, no problem. Last year she was actually the leading free throw shooter for this O'Gorman squad, shooting about 82% if you remember that, Dan. This year a little bit lower, but she hasn't had quite as many opportunities.
No, she hasn't been to the line that much at all, like you said, so she's a good little all-around ball player.
Moore hits her second shot. By the way, Moeller checked in for Wenentanda. Down the middle of the floor, Trinity Law for Brandon Valley. Tries to dribble left, but loses the ball just outright, and it's scooped up by Izzy Moore. It literally just kind of bounced to Izzy Moore right in front of Law. Moore finds Roncic inside. She steps back out, takes the long two from the top. No good. Rebounded by Law. Under 3 to play in this second quarter. Knights leading 13-3, and Muller steals the pass away intended for Hannah Behrens, and she goes in transition down the floor into the lane, then back out to the right corner. Still inside, though. She gets it away to Izzy Moore, right wing. Moore going to get this offense going. Finds Okoye inside, middle of the lane, then out to Muller, right corner. 3 up, a little wide. And rebounded by Ashley Wells. Wells, coast to coast, stops on the right block, flips it up. No good, a little short, and Okoye gets the rebound this time. Okoye checks it out to Emirancic. 2:15 now on the clock in the second. Knights up 13-3. She finds Izzy Moore left wing, up top to Okoye. Okoye inside to Roncic, under the basket, layup, good, right side. Make that 15-3 with 2:03 to play in the second.
We needed a basket there. A little bit. It's been about, what, 2 minutes or better for a basket. So
over on the left wing, Ashley Wells for Brandon Valley. She kicks it to her sister Lauren. Then up top to Piper. Piper tries to work it inside, is able to get it away. Then a pass out right corner to Wells. Lauren Wells, long threes, no good, and rebounded by Moore. Moore in transition, almost stolen away, but she finds Moeller left wing. Moeller inside pass to Okoye, off her fingertips and taken back by Lauren Wells. Wells just needs to beat Moore. Steps, jumper. No good off the back iron. Rebounded by Riley Benson, and back to the other side of the floor. The pace is just insane, back and forth. Nobody's really playing much defense. They're just running back and forth. They're going to say jump ball as Riley Benson hits the deck, gets tangled up with Trinity Law, and this will stay with OG as 3 players sub in for the Knights.
And 3 players for Brandon. So we got 6 new players here, and they got to be tired.
I'm getting tired watching them, Dan.
A lot of running up and down turnovers and stuff. So
Knights lead 15-3, $1.22 to play in the second quarter. Wenentanda back in for OG. She'll inbound left side of the lane on the baseline. She finds Muller left wing. Wenentanda gets it back in the corner. Wenentanda inside to Baruth. Baruth dribbles into the lane. Right-handed layup, no good, but she draws the foul on the shot.
She'll go the line for 2. That's Piper.
Yes, sir, that's her second of the game. 15th foul now for Brandon Valley, and back at the line, Courtney Baruth for the second time. 0 for 2 so far, trying to improve on that. Takes a couple dribbles, bent the knee, flick the wrist, first shot up off the back iron, no good. Score remains 15-3 pending this next shot. 1:15 to play in the second. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Knights halftime show sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agent, Mr. Heath Dickelman. We'll break down everything we saw in this first half, get you some stats, and we'll have the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman part 2 of an interview featuring O'Gorman Gymnastics head coach Sky Bork. Second shot is good by Baruth, and we're back on Brandon Valley's side of things. At the top of the key is Ashley Wells. Kicks it over left wing, then thrown back up top to Jarofsky. She fires the long 3, no good. Under a minute to play now in the second quarter. Knights lead 16-3. Wenentanda at the top for the Knights. Holding the ball, kicks it to Moeller left wing. Moeller points inside, finds Baruth right side of the post. Baruth looking in, dribbles into the lane, finds Reagan Riley left wing, then up top to Wenentanda. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Wenentanda moves in, jumper mid lane, no good, but she draws the foul on the shot.
I like the way she goes to the basket. When she gets the ball, either she'll shoot with like a 8-foot jumper, but not, she'll drive that lane and take it in.
And she has the athleticism that she can go top to bottom, and she's tall enough that she can, slice through people and make a nice jumper or a layup over top almost anybody on the floor. Wenentanda misses her first free throw as Izzy Moore checks in. Moeller checks out. Wenentanda gets one more with 38.1 seconds to play in this second quarter. Knights up 16-3 pending this next shot. A dribble, bent the knee, flick the wrist, up and good by Wenentanda. Check that to 17-3. Brandon Valley inbounds. Down the floor is Mara Skop. Crosses half court, kicks it over left wing to Jasmine Larson. Larson up top to Jarofsky. Jarofsky over left wing. Piper long 2 from the left wing. No good, and rebounded by Ronsick. The Knights with 20 seconds to play in the second quarter. Shot clock is turned off. That's plenty of time to burn down and make one more offensive try at the basket. Pass over to Moore right wing, then up top to Wenentanda. 8 seconds now on the clock. Inside to Baruth at the free throw line. 5 seconds. Baruth kicks it out to Wenentanda left corner. She takes a long 2. Brushes the bottom of the net. No good. There's the buzzer. And at half, the O'Gorman Knights lead the Brandon Valley Lynx 17-3. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the Knights halftime show sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field agent, Mr. Heath Dickelman. That's on the way. Stick around. You're listening to O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Whether you need to be fitted with eyeglasses or contact lenses, or you need a comprehensive eye exam, Barnett Vision Clinic in Sioux Falls utilizes the latest technology and treatments available. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a wide selection of eye care products, including sunwear, eyewear, and contact lenses to fit your specific eye care needs. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a same-day pay for patients without vision coverage. Their number is 605-335-7757 or online at barnettvisionclinic.com.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagan Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also features a large line of personalized gifts that are great for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, or any special occasion. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange next to Camille's. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field agent, Heath Dickelman. With the Knights Halftime Show, here's your hosts, Michael Promes and Dan Johnson.
Welcome into the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field agent, Mr. Heath Dickelman. At halftime, the O'Gorman Knights lead the Brandon Valley Lynx 17-3 in girls AA basketball here at O'Gorman High School. And Dan, obviously a very low-scoring first half that we saw. It was all OG to start things off. In fact, Brandon Valley didn't even score until the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah, it was, about a minute in the second quarter before they scored. Brandon Valley's averaging 56.3 points a game, and that's after the game last night, so these stats are correct. To come out here with 3 points, wow. I'm not sure what Coach Stadium's talking about in the locker room right now, but their shot is way off today. There's no doubt about it, but but both teams are playing sloppy.
Yeah.
And I'll just be blunt.
Yeah.
Both teams are a lot of turnovers. I don't know how many turnovers, but how many times we went up and down the court? About 4 times each, and not even a shot.
Right. And, it's kind of a tired sloppiness. It's not even just, a good idea on a pass that just got stolen away, or maybe just a missed pass altogether, or maybe just a silly traveling call or something like that. No, we're talking dribbling, and they just lose the ball, and then it's scooped up by the other team. We've actually seen about a half a dozen traveling calls on either team, and they're just silly little things that you usually don't see in a game, which probably tells you, Dan, that both teams are pretty tired coming off of those games last night.
They have to be. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when they both played 2 hard games, especially Lady Knights last night, and got out of here at 9 and come back here and play at 5 o'clock this afternoon, they got to be exhausted. That's high school basketball. We do this every year, but Lady Knights need to, 2 or 3 times to try to get it inside to Emma and to Courtney, and the passes aren't there crisp, and that's causing turnovers. We talked about that in the pregame. They got to make sure when they're trying to get it inside. You could see Emma asking for the ball inside. She wants to get it in the paint, take it up, and Courtney too. But it's not in transition. They get the ball down there, and I don't think they see Emma right there and open. So, but one thing about Brandon Valley. What did I find? They've shot 248 attempts on a 3-point.
Right.
And they're a 33% 3-point team. The Lady Knights threw the other night about 140 attempts? So about 148 more attempts. So Brandon Valley's not afraid to shoot the ball, but, at 33%, O'Gorman's right at that too, but that tells you that they like to shoot from outside. But then you got to get your offensive rebounds.
Right.
And that's where... And I'm sure they're not going to do that because we got the height to get the rebound. So that's going to call that off a little bit.
And what's interesting about that stat, Dan, is Brandon Valley's only attempted 2 3-pointers in this game and obviously haven't completed any. Let's take a look quick at the scoring for the O'Gorman Knights. Awati Okoye with 2 points for OG, 3 points from Courtney Baruth, 4 for Emma Ronsick, 3 from Jakalenga Wenentanda, and a single 3-pointer from Izzy Moore, and that does it for the scoring. Obviously low-scoring game, so not a whole lot of numbers there so far. You're listening to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agent, Mr. Heath Dickelman. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Sioux Falls Catholic Schools. Part 2 of a 2-part interview. Brett got to sit down with O'Gorman gymnastics coach Sky Bork. That's coming up on the other side of the break. You're listening to O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life, whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or an insurance analysis. Please call Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Welcome back to Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Sioux Falls Catholic Schools. I'm now joined by O'Gorman gymnastics coach Sky Bork. Coach, your team has competed in 10 varsity meets so far this season. Season's kind of wrapping up with only 2 weeks till the state meet in Brookings on February 8th. Which girl would you say has improved the most now compared to back when you first started practicing late November?
Probably Adriana Elliott. Even from last year to this year, she is 100% better than she was. She continues to get better as the season goes on. Hitting that 9-0 on floor can be really difficult. And coming off the JV team last year, to hit the 9-0 and to be a consistent player, counting those team scores is a pretty big deal.
Has there been an event this year, Coach, that your team as a whole has really done well with? And in turn, has there been an event the team has kind of struggled with so far?
Our floor is kind of our thing, and it has been, at least since I've been coaching. Their floor is good. It's clean. They present it really well. Bars is more of a struggle for us.
And last year, Coach, your team's best score was a 138.225 at the state meet. Is there a goal in mind right now this year that you think in these final couple meets that you would like to see your girls try to hit?
I would like to get us to that 135, 136 at our next meet, but honestly, they have the ability to hit 137, 138 as long as they all show up on the same day.
And each year you probably get some similar personalities as you get kind of the same girls going through. You always might get some new girls. Overall, what has this girls team been like for you to coach this season?
They've been a very interesting group of individuals. Their personalities, even with one person leaving, you get one person adding with Adriana Elliott. The dynamic completely changes. And so that's what's fun about coaching these girls is you get the main core girls, but one person can make it different. And so it's just interesting from year to year. And they've been really great this year. We're going into, our last couple meets and they're starting to feel the pressure, but they're handling it really well. And with such a young team, that is always a fear for a coach, how they're going to handle the pressure, and are they going to be able to harness it and use it for good, or are they going to crumble? So it seems to me like this year they're really taking it well, being as young as they are.
And finally, Coach, your team has only 2 meets left before state, which is February 8th up in Brookings, the Metro Tournament on January 26th coming up this weekend, and then the state qualifier on February 1st. What are your expectations for your girls in those final couple meets before the state meet?
Well, Metro is a really fun meet. For the JV team specifically, last year was the first year that we haven't won the JV since its inception, so they're looking to take it back. They're hungry. They want it. So it'll be a fun meet for the JV. And for the varsity, really it's a fun meet for them just because the JV enjoys it so much and they get so into it. We have less gymnasts that we can compete varsity at that meet. Our scores will fluctuate just a little bit, and it also gives some of the varsity that usually sit in that 7 spot an opportunity to really shine in the number 1 spot or the number 2 spot on the JV team.
Thank you so much, Coach Bork, for your time, and good luck to you and your girls the rest of the way this season.
All right, thanks.
And an update actually on the Metro meet that actually took place here in Sioux Falls earlier today at Sioux Falls Lincoln. Varsity O'Gorman and Varsity JV O'Gorman won the meet. 134.7 for varsity, 113.4 for JV. So congratulations to them. They have just such a great program this year. And head coach Sky Bork just does a great job leading these girls. So congratulations to them. And that's the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Sioux Falls Catholic Schools. There's 6 elementary schools, junior high and high school, exemplify gospel values, strong student achievement, and community service. Each and every school is dedicated to the mission of forming a community of faith and learning by promoting a Catholic way of life through gospel values and academic excellence. And you've been listening to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agent, Mr. Heath Dickelman. We start the third quarter here at O'Gorman High School. Knights leading 17-3 over Brandon Valley. BV moving right to left. O'Gorman from left to right looking at the hoop, and on Brandon Valley's first possession, it's stolen away by Awati Okoye. She hands it over to Amarantic, and the Knights will go to work. Here's Benson left wing. She throws it up top to Muller. Muller looking inside, dribbles down to the right wing. Muller finds Rontic on the right block. Didn't quite get to her. She wrestles for the ball on the floor. They say jump ball, and it stays with OG. So Dan, with everything we saw in that first half of play, what the Knights need to focus on if they want to maintain this lead and defeat the number 2 ranked Brandon Valley Lynx.
Maintain the ball. Keep control of the ball. No turnovers, and get some good looks down below and play the great defense that they're playing on them. I love the man-to-man defense that they're putting on them.
Back on the floor, here's Muller at the free throw line, finds Rontic at the right block, but stolen away again to Lauren Wells. Brandon Valley doing a great job of double teaming and really isolating Emma Rontic, who's held to only 4 points so far in this game. She averages about 16 points in any game. Here's Trinity Law right wing for Brandon Valley. She throws it up top to Ashley Wells. Wells tries to work it inside, then kicks it out to the top of the key to Kocher, but a whistle on the floor. Foul called on OG on the shove. It's going to be on number 5, Riley Benson, her second of the game, first team foul this half for the Knights. At the 6:43 mark, Knights leading 17-3 here in the third quarter. Inbound right side of the lane goes into Behrens. Behrens barely over the top of Okoye, finds Trinity Law on the right side of the basket, and Law puts it in for 2. First field goal that's been scored for Brandon Valley since the 1 minute mark, actually, in the second quarter. That's 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Okoye throws it inside to Ronsick, but stolen right out of her hands again. Lauren Wells in transition, throws it down to Kocher, left wing. She steps back, 3 up, and little short. Rebounded by Carly Kunkel.
She's going to hold up.
Kunkel down the middle of the floor, crosses half court on top of the OG shield, stops at the top of the key, kicks it to Benson, right wing. Trinity Law, getting in there, knocks it out of bounds, but she's going to be called for a foul on the shove. That's her second of the game. First team foul this half for Brandon Valley.
One thing about it, when Emma gets the ball, they're double, tripping, teaming her down here. So it's really, they're keying on her big time in the paint.
5:55 to play in this third quarter. Knights leading 17-5. Here's Riley Benson, right wing for OG, trying to find somebody inside, holding the ball over her head, throws it inside to Muller. Muller dribbles back out to the right wing, points with her right hand, bounces it in to Okoye in the right block. She moves into the lane, and the shot is blocked by Behrens, but Emma Ronsick's in there to save it. She takes a step back to the right wing, puts it up, and drains the three. 20-5 as Ronsick picks up her first 3 of the game and her first points of this second half. 5:30 to play in the third. Again, Knights up 20-5. Down in the right corner for Brandon Valley, Ashley Wells. We have Lauren Wells and Ashley Wells in for Brandon Valley. We'll say Ashley and Lauren respectively. And a shove on Riley Benson. That was Hannah Behrens just pushing her away from the ball. Benson, tough as always, took the check like a champ, hit the floor, and Behrens picks up her third foul of the game, second team foul for for Brandon Valley this half.
And she's going to go take a breather here.
Coming in for OG, Courtney Baruth, Reagan Riley, and Izzy Moore. Okoye, Benson, and Muller take a seat, and Benson getting checked out by the trainer. She said she's okay. The back of the floor, Carly Kunkel at the top, drives straight to the basket, right-handed layup rejected by the backboard. 5:06 to play in the third quarter. Long pass down the floor to Jasmine Larson. She doesn't take it herself on the right side of the basket. Instead, tries to check it over to the left wing, and it's stolen away by Carly Kunkel. Carly Kunkel hands it over to Reagan Riley, almost taken away, but the Knights maintain possession. Kunkel inside right wing, doesn't take the shot, instead rotates it around to Emma Ronsick left wing. Then up top to Kunkel. Kunkel over back to the left wing to Moore. Moore up top to Baruth. Baruth looking inside, instead finds Kunkel right wing. 12 seconds on the shot clock as Kunkel takes a dribble, tries to shoot it, but it's blocked by Jasmine Larson. Larson hands it off to Law. Law cross half court, checks it down to Kocher right corner. She drives baseline, but she's going to be called for a travel as she turned around and tried to check it back up top to Larson.
You hear Coach down here, move, move, move. He wants to work that ball around and stuff. And it just, they're tired.
They are tired.
They're tired. I mean, in their defense, they're tired.
And Brandon Valley looks like they found another gear because they have been all over OG defensively. They still have only put up 2 points, though, so far in this third quarter, and we're about halfway through. Knights lead 20-5. Reagan Riley hands it over to Hannah Ronsick at the top of the key. Remember, Hannah and Emma in for OG. We'll say Hannah and Emma respectively to avoid any word jumble. Here's Moore at the top of the key. She dribbles over right wing, looks inside, instead finds Reagan Riley in the right corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Riley into the lane, finds Hannah left wing. 3 up and good. Both Ronsick sisters now with 3 points on the Knights, or 3-pointers on the night, I should say. Knights up 23-5, 3:50 to play in the third quarter. Law drives inside, kicks it up top to Larson. Larson responds with her first points of the game. The 5'9" senior forward extends scoring for Brandon Valley, 23-8, 3:30 to play in this third quarter as Izzy Moore runs point for OG. Crosses half court, guarded heavily by Law. She moves over left wing, throws it up top to Hannah Ronsick. Hannah over left wing to Moore. Moore looking inside, guarded very heavily, and foul's going to be called on Lauren Wells, who's kind of reaching in, trying to swat the ball away from Moore.
And she was grabbing her jersey, and stuff. I was like, going, how long is he going to let her do that? So
I mean, they did miss a couple calls earlier, but other than that, it's been very clean. But I think good called there by the officials. Checking out Trinity Law and Danica Kocher for Brandon Valley. Checking back in is Mara Skop. Also number 24, Emma Jurovsky. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds in front of the OG bench, so the Knights will inbound again with 30 seconds on the shot clock. 3:18 to play in the third quarter. Knights up 23-8. Inbound goes to Moore, left wing, then up top to Baruth. Baruth points in with her left hand and rotates out with Reagan Riley. Riley looking inside, instead throws it to Hannah Ronsick, right wing. Hannah dribbles up top, hands it off to Moore. Moore finds Emma Ronsick, right wing. Emma looking inside, starts to dribble, moves down to the baseline. Back to Baruth, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Baruth over left wing to Hannah. Hannah looking inside, dribbles up top, finds more right wing. She takes the three, little short, and rebounded by Brandon Valley. But they're going to call foul on OG off that rebound. I think that's going to be on Emma Ronsick for going over the back of Ashley Wells.
Yeah, that was a good foul. I mean, Emma about a foot taller than her and went right over her back. So
Emma Ronsick that is, picks up her first foul of the game. Second team foul for OG in this second half. 2:40 to play in the third quarter. Over right wing for Brandon Valley is Scott. Scott throws it up top to Larson, then over left wing to Jarofsky. Jarofsky hands it over to Lauren Wells. Wells checks it inside to Jarofsky, left corner, back up top to Lauren. Lauren then drives inside, kicks it back to Larson. Three up off the front of the rim, and Larson gets her own rebound off the big bounce. She rotates it down to the right corner to Lauren Wells. Wells drives inside, follow-up layup on the left side from Larson falls in, 23-10. Brandon Valley starting to pick up this scoring game. 2:10 to play in this third quarter. Knights leading 23-10. That's 7 points so far scored in this third quarter for Brandon Valley versus 6 from OG. Here's Izzy Moore, right wing for OG. She'll dribble up top, then into the lane. Tries to pass it away, but she's going to have her hands swatted on that pass.
Lauren Wells.
That'll be foul number 2 for Lauren Wells. Fourth team foul for Brandon Valley as Reagan Riley, Izzy Moore, and Courtney Bruth check out. Akoy, Moeller, and Benson back in for the Knights. The 2 Ronsicks will remain.
23-10, minute 56 to go in the third quarter.
Benson, inbounds to Hannah Ronsick. Hannah over right wing to Muller. Muller then down right corner to Akoy. Akoy fakes right, drives left into the lane, floater mid lane, no good. Gets her own rebound though on the left block. Dumps it into Muller. Muller follows up the floater in the middle of the lane, 25-10. $1.38 to play in this third quarter. Knights with the lead. Here's Trinity Law at the free throw line. Kicks it out left wing. Jarofsky three up and good. Jarofsky's first points of the game make that 25-13 OG. 1:25 to play in the third.
Brandon's going to start shooting.
Hannah Ronsick crossing half court. Finds Benson left wing. Benson on the dribble up top, looking inside, trying to find Emma Ronsick. Instead, Benson finds Muller right wing. Throws it to Hannah on the right corner, but it's knocked out of bounds by Lauren Wells.
Brandon is quick on the defense. They are quick. Their hands are out there. They're slapping the ball. Causing turnovers.
Danica Kocher checks back in for Lauren Wells as Muller inbounds to Emma Ronsick with 15 seconds on the shot clock. $1 to play in this third quarter. Emma hands it over to Hannah right wing, then over to Benson left wing. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Checks it into Emma. Emma to the basket. Right-handed layup. Good!
Oh, nice move. That was a sweet move by Emma.
9 points on the night now for Emma Ronsick, 27-13 Knights, 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. Driving top to bottom is Trinity Law. No good on the shot, but she draws foul and will step up to the line to shoot a couple free throws.
And that's McCoy's second.
Trinity Law at the line for the first time tonight. 5'9" senior guard, Nebraska Kearney commit. First shot is good. Wenentana subs in for Hannah Ronsick. The rest of the lineup stays the same as Law readies her second free throw. Dribbles a couple times, a bend at the knee, a flick of the wrist. It's up and it's good. 27-15. OG with 48 seconds to play in this third quarter. Ronsick inbounds to Benson, who then passes it back over to Emma Ronsick. Ronsick crossing half court. Throws it over left wing to Muller. Muller looking inside. Pump fakes left, drives right to the basket. Right-handed layup is no good. Wenentanda tries to grab the rebound, but a whistle on the floor, and they're going to call foul on Jasmine Larson.
Wenentanda, good move by her part.
Brandon Valley hoping to get a jump ball, but what happened is Wenentanda had the ball first, and then Larson reached in and kind of put some elbow into it, trying to wrestle the ball away. Muller and Benson will check out. Moore and Reagan Riley check back in for OG. Lights up 27-15, 34 seconds to play in this third quarter. Izzy Moore gets the inbound in a wide open lane to the basket on the baseline. Good for 2. That's now 7 points for Izzy Moore on the night.
You see that she was going to give it to Emma, and everybody just kind of followed Emma and left the basket wide open, and Izzy just turned around and took it in.
Jarofsky left corner, 3 up, no good. Long rebound. They find Shop at the top of the key as Brandon Valley gets the first rebound. O'Gorman gets the second here. 8 seconds on the game clock. And here's Reagan Riley, right wing for OG. Throws it backwards to Izzy Moore. 5 seconds inside to Okoye. Okoye in the middle of the lane. Floater off the front of the rim. No good. There's the buzzer. And after 3 quarters to play, the O'Gorman Knights lead Brandon Valley 29-15. We'll step aside. Your fourth quarter is coming right up from O'Gorman High School right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
You're listening to the RPR Network. FM 94.5 KGWD Sioux Falls and FM 91.3 KSTJ Hartford. Real Presence Radio, your family of faith and hope.
Eide Bailey, a public accounting firm, provides taxes, accounting, assurance, and business advisory services to clients across the nation. With offices in Sioux Falls and 33 locations in 14 states, Eide Bailey is the workplace to 2,000 professionals. The firm has been serving clients for over 100 years. You can contact Eide Bailey online at eidebailey.com. Eide Bailey is a proud supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls has something for everyone. They offer a buffet featuring pizza and chicken. Pizza Ranch has daily specials as well as 5 party rooms and a dining area. You can also order online and they'll bring the experience to you. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Start of the fourth quarter here at O'Gorman High School. The O'Gorman Lady Knights leading Brandon Valley 29-15. As Brandon Valley starts things off, a foul's going to be called on the floor on OG. That'll be on number 23, Awati Okoye, third of the game, 4th team foul now for the Knights.
That's critical.
Brandon Valley in that third quarter doubled their scoring, over-doubled their scoring, I should say. They only had 7 points beginning of the third quarter, and now with 15, but the Knights leading 29-15. A long 3 from the top by Ashley Wells is no good, and Emma Ronsick gets the rebound. So on the other side of the floor, Emma Ronsick throws it to Reagan Riley at the top of the key. She dribbles once and hands it to Wenentanda left wing. Wenentanda inside to Emma Ronsick to the basket. Left-handed layup is good. By the way, Knights moving from my left to my right. Brandon Valley from right to left looking at the basket. Long pass down the floor. Danica Kocher to the basket. No good on the shot. Recovers after the rebound, and the putback is no good. Brandon Valley getting that rebound again, checking it out to the left wing. 3 up, no good, and another offensive rebound by Brandon Valley. They throw it to Trinity Law, top of the key. Long 3 up, no good, and Wenentanda holds it on Brandon Valley's side. She's double teamed though, and they're going to call foul on BV.
And Ashley Wells. So that's a 16 foul for them?
That'll actually be on Kocher, her first of the
okay.
game, yes. And yeah, 16 foul for Brandon Valley. One more, OG will get the bonus. 31-15, Knights with the lead. 6:45 to play in this fourth quarter. Here's Awati Okoye, left wing for OG. Throws it up high and finds Emma Ronsick on the left block. She checks it out to Reagan Riley, right wing, 3 up and off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by Kocher for Brandon Valley. Kocher in transition to sprint down the floor to the basket. Left-handed layup is no good, but she'll draw the foul. They'll say it was on the shot. She'll still step up the line to shoot a couple.
Reagan
Riley's first foul of the game. 5 team fouls now for OG. 6:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Lights up 31-15. Here's Danica Kocher, 5'9" senior guard, hits her first. And by the way, it's Kocher spelled K-O-C-E-R. Wenentanda will sub out. Benson subs in. Kunkel subs in as well for Reagan Riley. Kocher readies her second. Players figure out who they're guarding. Second shot touches all sides of the rim and falls in. 31-17 Knights. Again, 6:30 to play in the fourth. Ronsick getting the inbound, crosses half court for OG, moves over left wing and finds Benson. Benson down to the left corner, dribbles back up, hands it over to Moore. Moore looking inside, picks up her dribble though, hands it to Benson. Benson dribbles up top, rotates out with Kunkel. Kunkel with 15 seconds on the shot clock, finds it. Emma Ronsick left wing, wide open 3 up and no good. It'll go out of bounds, but last touched by Brandon Valley. That was Trinity Law, actually.
It went off. She didn't get the rebound, went off her leg and out, so Gorman ball right underneath the basket here. So new shot clock, 6:04 left in the ball game.
Kunkel slaps the ball on the baseline, left side of the lane, finds Izzy Moore on the right block. She puts it in as it goes roundabout and in. 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Knights up 33-17. Trinity Law on the sprint down the middle of the floor. Kicks it over right corner, then back up top to Ashley Wells. Ashley Wells over left wing to Skop. Skop up top to Jarovsky. Jarovsky over right wing to Wells. Wells loses the ball, but scooping it back up is Kocher. Kocher over on the right wing, throws it up top to Skop. Skop looking inside, 12 seconds on the shot clock, kicks it over to Wells, right wing. She drives in and follows up the right-handed layup. Benson, I think, got confused about who she was defending and left the lane wide open.
Little mismatch right there. They kind of need to realize where you're at on the floor all the time.
Here's Benson, right wing for OG. 5:18 to play in the fourth. Knights up 33-19. She tries to find Kunkel at the top of the key. She's able to grab it. It's kind of wide receiver style, but Trinity Law gives her a little bit of a shove. That'll be number 3 for Law on the game, and 17 fouls for Brandon Valley. Skop will sub out. Wells, that's Lauren Wells, subs in. Izzy Moore and Awati Okoye sub out. Courtney Baruth and Hannah Ronsick step in as Carly Kunkel will attempt a 1-and-1. Kunkel spins the ball, dribbles it, spins it again, dribbles once more, puts it up. First shot is in. Carly Kunkel, a 5'6" junior guard, kind of the key shooter for OG this season, but not so much the past couple of games. Trying to improve it here at the free throw line. Second shot's up, perfect.
Good, we need those.
35-19, Knights, 5:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Law crossing half court for Brandon Valley. Sets up top of the key, kicks it over left wing to Ashley Wells. There's Ashley and Lauren Wells on the floor right now, and Ashley finds Lauren right wing. Lauren inside the Law at the right block. She backs down her defender, puts up the layup, and good for 2. 4:55 to play in the fourth quarter. Knights leading 35-21, and Brandon Valley wants a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Actually, no, I lied. We're going to keep it right here because we have a scoreboard update to take a look at, sponsored by Jameson Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor. Value Visor helps people and businesses discover, improve, and get value from their businesses. Jameson can be reached at 605-370-6931 or online at valuevisor.com. Real estate through Murphy Business, Dakota Lakes.
So the other game we're really watching this afternoon, the O'Gorman Knight boys are out at Brandon Valley. At the end of 1, O'Gorman 13, Brandon Valley 10. So now that was the first quarter. At halftime, O'Gorman is 27, Brandon Valley 19. And they just started the second half out at Brandon Valley. The other games in AA girls, Yankton, Pierre was at Yankton 57-38 over Pierre. And the shocker this afternoon in boys, Harrisburg beat Sioux Falls, Washington 65-64, very close game there. And Yankton goes to Pierre tonight for boys. But the big thing today is the Lady Knights won the Metro tournament in gymnastics with 134.7, so congratulations to them.
Back on the floor, a full court press from Brandon Valley, but the Knights are able to slice and dice, pass through it, and cross half court. Here's Emma Ronsick top of the key. Knights leading 35-21 at the 4:30 mark here in the fourth quarter. Courtney Baruth inside for OG, goes to the basket, but trips over her own foot as it sails out of bounds back to Brandon Valley. Baruth's up, she's okay. Brandon Valley inbounds. Scoring has been much better for both of these teams, I'd say, in the second half, but basically in a deadlock stalemate as far as scoring goes. Trinity Law, though, from top to bottom, left side layup is no good, but draws the foul on the shot.
Courtney's.
That'll be, on Courtney Baruth, her second of the game. 16 foul now for OG.
And Law's been the free throw line, about 4 times tonight?
I'd say so, and hits her first. Izzy Moore subs in for Riley Benson. That's 7 points now tonight for Trinity Law, trying to make it 8 here. Bent the knee, flick the wrist up, and good. She does so. 35-23. Brandon Valley back within 12. 4:24 to play in this fourth quarter. Again, press from Brandon Valley, but the Knights quick to break it. Here's Moore left wing and hands it back over to Emma Ronsick. Ronsick back to Moore, left corner. She fakes the 3, drives in, baseline layup is good from the left.
I like that fake jumper for 3 and drove that baseline right in. I like her style.
And here comes Trinity Law, again, top to bottom. She tries to slice between Izzy Moore and Carly Kunkel. Kunkel had her feet planted. Moore was the one moving, but Kunkel will be called for her second foul instead. 17 fouls now for OG. And a 1-1 they're saying here for Trinity Law. Well, maybe 2. I saw a 1 from the official, but it must have obviously been 2, which makes sense because it was on the shot. But it wouldn't be the first time we disagreed with the officials tonight, I suppose.
But I like how Moore and Kunkel got back on the transition. They got back to defend that. So, I mean,
Kunkel and Hannah Ronsick step out. Wenentanda back in for OG, as is Reagan Riley. Second shot for Law is up and good. That's 9 points on the night now. 37-24. Knights leading with 4:05 to play in this fourth quarter. Here's that press again. Emma Ronsick gets the inbound triple team. Throws it to Izzy Moore. She'll cross half court. Brandon Valley wanting a travel call on Ronsick as she passes, but nothing called. Moore at the top. Throws it down to the right corner to Wenentanda. Wenentanda taking the pass inside, dribbles up top, then finds Ronsick right block. Ronsick puts it up, has her shot blocked, and here's Trinity Law throwing it down court to Ashley Wells. Wells, uncontested layup, good for 2. 3:35 to play in the fourth. Knights leading 37-26. Brandon Valley starting to come back. Izzy Moore getting the inbound, finds Emma Ronsick, who then finds Reagan Riley cross half court toward the right wing, but a little far out, and the Knights need 30 seconds to figure a couple things out. 37-26, Knights with the lead. 3:26 to play in the fourth. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. This is O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Is there an event that you would like announced right here on the RPR Network? Please email the details at least 2 weeks in advance to Brandon@yourcatholicradiostation.com. That's Brandon@yourcatholicradiostation.com. We can help spread the word about what's happening at your parish and in your diocese. Again, that email address is Brandon@yourcatholicradiostation.com. Thank you for listening to and supporting your family of faith and hope.
Reminder coming up after tonight's game, we'll have the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll break down everything we saw in this game, get you some stats. Hear from O'Gorman head coach Kent Colesure to get you ready for the next O'Gorman Knights game. The Knights resume play here out the inbound at O'Gorman High School. Here's Emma Ronsick, right wing. Ronsick looking inside, holding the ball over her head, finds Wenentanda at the top of the key. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Wenentanda finds Riley left wing. Riley looking inside, dribbles up top, drives the lane, has her shot blocked. They're going to call foul on the shot, though, from the right side.
And Trinity Law just looked the official with their mouth open like, what? Right in front of us. And they called her fourth.
8th team foul now for Brandon Valley as Reagan Riley steps up the line to shoot a couple. Riley, a 5'10 sophomore forward. First shot is a little long off the back iron. Riley's about a 46% free throw shooter. Makes it about one time a game. Should say makes it to the line about once a game. Riley's second free throw up. Off the back iron again, but Emma Ronsick wrestles for the rebound. They'll say jump ball between her and Ashley Wells, and this one staying with OG.
And I like it how Emma got the ball and they just went right over her.
3:03 to play in the fourth. Knights lead 37-26. Riley Benson checks back in for Courtney Baruth. So Okoye and Baruth are both on the bench. Here's Ronsick, left wing for OG, trying to rotate into the lane, but she is stopped. She instead finds Izzy Moore left corner. She's blocked on the baseline, double teamed, and a timeout called by OG before she gets herself in trouble. That'll be a full timeout, so we'll step aside for 1 minute at 2:55 in the fourth. Knights lead 37-26. This is O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Need repairs on gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors? Sioux Equipment Company can help. They serve Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company also offers services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment. Sioux Equipment Company at 605-334-1653 is a supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. I'm Thad Barnes, financial advisor with the Barnes DeMoore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office. Andy DeMoore and myself know that building relationships begin with getting to know each client. We can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs.
Thad and Andy can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC.
back at OG after the OG timeout. 37-26, the Lady Knights leading Brandon Valley 5 seconds under the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. And here's Izzy Moore down the left corner. She'll throw it up top to Wenentanda, and a foul is going to be called on the coverage. That's going to be on Trinity Law, and she will foul out of the game with 10 points on the night.
Wow. They lost a big asset right there.
And you know, it's kind of a tough position to be in because they're playing very tight, very aggressive defense, so a lot of swatting going on and all that. And when you foul out, I mean, it can almost be expected at least for one player. It just happens to be their top scorer. Wenentanda on a 1-and-1. First shot is no good, and Brandon Valley gets the rebound. By the way, Abigail Muller back in for Reagan Riley. Over on the right wing, a long three from Skop is no good, and Muller gets the rebound. She's double-teamed at the baseline, kicks it out to Moore, and Moore starts to dribble on the sprint down court, finds Benson right wing, into Wenentanda. Layup is good from the left side. 5 points for Wenentanda so far tonight. 2:25 to play in the fourth. Knights lead 39-26.
I like the way how they executed that.
Inside pass goes to Kocher. Kocher then kicks it back up top to follow up with the right-handed layup, and it's rebounded by the Knights. Izzy Moore crossing half court for OG. 39-26. OG up. Finds Wenentanda over on the left wing. Wenentanda up top to Benson. Benson over right wing to Muller. Muller points with her left hand and passes it up top with her right hand. Wenentanda back down to Muller. Muller looking inside with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Tries to find Ronsick, but it's swatted out of the hands of Emma Ronsick by Danica Kocher. Kocher, the pass down the court to Ashley Wells. Layup good from the left side. 1:43 to play in the fourth quarter, and a foul called on the inbound. Knights leading 39-28.
And Emma's going to come to the line.
That'll be on number 32. That's Kocher, her second of the game. 10th team foul from Brandon Valley, and the Brandon Valley parents not liking that a lot at all, I should say. And chirping a little bit here, but the double bonus for OG. And as Dan mentioned, Emma Ronsick at the line for the first time tonight. 75% free throw shooter. As far as percentages go, the top free throw shooter for OG. First shot is up and good.
Her first time in the line tonight.
It's 11 points for Emma Ronsick so far. Pending this next shot, it's up, it's good. Make that 12 points. The Knights now lead 41-28. $1.40 to play in this fourth quarter at O'Gorman High School. At the top of the key for Brandon Valley is Skop. She drives inside and follows up with a beautiful right-handed layup under the basket. For a short player, that was a fantastic, quick little move and an even better shot. Over on the left wing for OG then is Carly Kunkel. She'll dribble up top, goes into the lane, but loses the ball. She had a shot if she could only hold on. It's tipped out to Moore on the right wing, though. Moore hands it over to Kunkel. Kunkel dribbles up top with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Kunkel over left wing to Ronsick. Ronsick drives baseline, back out to Kunkel. Three up and good!
Oh, she needed that.
Carly Kunkel's first three in the past couple games, as we're now under 1 minute to play in the fourth quarter. 44-30. Ball sails out of bounds, intended for Lauren Wells, but Carly Kunkel got a hand on it and knocked it out. Wenentanda, Hannah Ronsick, and Reagan Riley sub in as Benson, Moore, and Muller sub out for OG. Lineup for Brandon Valley stays the same. At the top of the key after the inbound is Ashley Wells. She's trying to back down, instead kicks it out left wing to Jarofsky. She follows up with her second three of the night. 47.5 seconds to play in the fourth. Knights leading 44-33, and Brandon Valley needs a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll step aside for about 30 seconds. You're listening to O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Have you ever thought about sponsoring programming on RPR? We want to partner with your business in keeping the call to a new evangelization alive throughout the Upper Midwest. Underwriting on this station shows you are a leader in supporting this ministry and promotes your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about your options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Reminder, coming up after tonight's game, we'll have the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll break down this game, get you some stats. We'll hear from O'Gorman head coach Kent Colesrud and get you ready for the next O'Gorman Knights game. right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Okay, with 47.5 seconds, Brandon Valley has one timeout left. O'Gorman has two. So I think we're going to have a couple more here. Brandon Valley's really going to press here.
Knights leading 44-33. Inbound goes to Ronsick. They're going to just keep passing it, trying to keep the ball away from Brandon Valley, but Hannah Ronsick loses the ball at the hands of Jarofsky. Jarofsky trying to check it inside. Carly Kunkel then steals it back, and a foul is going to be called on Brandon Valley as they tried to get it back from Kunkel. It'll be on number 42. Number 42, rather. Ashley Wells, her first of the game. This will send Carly Kunkel to the line for a couple with the double bonus.
We need both of these, Carly.
Kunkel adjusts her knee pads, spins the ball once, dribbles twice, spins it again, and dribbles once more. A bend at the knee, flick the wrist. It's up and off the front of the rim. No good. 39.1 seconds on the board. Knights up by 11 in the fourth. Kunkel goes through a routine, readies her second. It's up. This one's off the back iron and rebounded by Brandon Valley. And Knights playing back on defense at the top of the key. Jarofsky tries to work inside, picks up her dribble though. Instead, hands it off to Ashley Wells. Wells kicks it out left wing. Long three up and good for Jarofsky. 44-36, 25.1 seconds to play in the fourth, and a timeout called by Brandon Valley. We'll step aside for 1 minute. This is O'Gorman Knights basketball on Real Presence Radio Network.
When you look to the future, is the road there inevitable? It's not. That's why O'Gorman education matters. It's where you'll grow in your faith, be challenged, celebrate, and become part of a community. These are the moments that will shape your life. This is where your path will unfold. What are you waiting for? You belong in blue.
Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is a third-generation practice focusing on inspiring patients to take control of their personal health and the health of their families. Dr. Eric Ferendorf, a 1999 O'Gorman alum, is a proud third-generation O'Gorman Cathedral High School graduate following in the footsteps of his grandfather and uncle. Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is located at 229 West 39th Street and can be reached at 605-334-8000.
15 seconds to play here at O'Gorman High School in the fourth quarter. Emma Ronsick's double team crossed the half-court line, and OG is going to burn a timeout. They lead 44-36. 13 seconds to play in the fourth quarter, and just as we come back to break, have a 1 minute timeout on the floor, and this is one of those awkward times where you think, do we go to commercial or do we just talk? You know what, Dan, you're good at talking.
But you know what, in that situation like that, Brandon Valley, great press, great defense on the Knights. They bring it up, they get it past half court, 10-second line, they get it over, and they triple team Emma over in the corner right in front of the coach, and there she was. She's trapped. And, of course, coach had got 2 timeouts left. He's going to call it. 13 seconds to go, Knights up by 8. They don't want to foul because it's double bonus.
Right.
So that's a big thing there. If they foul, we come down, especially when Emma's got the ball, the best free throw shooter. They're not purposely not going to foul her.
Right. And O'Gorman's playing that absolutely perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was me, I would probably foul them anyway because they've already burned 12 seconds there off that possession, and now they're kind of taking themselves out of it. Even if they would have gone to shoot free throws like they will now after this next foul with the inbound, they still would have preserved some clock. And O'Gorman hasn't been super perfect at shooting free throws tonight, but nonetheless, Izzy Moore will step at the line to shoot a couple free throws.
And she's 62%. So
that's right. The second best free throw shooter on the floor tonight for OG as she hits her first, percentages-wise.
She's 3 for 3 in the line then.
Ready's her second. 5'7" sophomore guard hits her second. 11.5 to play in this fourth quarter. Knights leading 46-36. At the top of the key is Skop. Skop kicks it over right wing to Lauren Wells. Wells back around the arc to Skop at the top of the key. She fires the three, misses it. It goes out of bounds, but doesn't touch out of bounds before the buzzer sounds. And the O'Gorman Knights defeat the Brandon Valley Lynx 46-36. Gorman Knights have a tough game last night, but came out, broke out that good offensive play that we're used to seeing, and overcame the number 2 team in the state of South Dakota. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll break down this game. We have some stats, we have an interview, and we also have a schedule for these O'Gorman Knights. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Big Rig Barbecue brings a Texas-style barbecue to South Dakota. They use a real wood smoker for all their meats, every single day. Big Rig Barbecue serves sliced brisket, pulled pork, chicken, and ribs. They offer pre-orders for smaller events and gatherings and cater for large events, including parties, meetings, and graduations. Big Rig Barbecue's new sit-down location is on the corner of 41st and Minnesota. Their website, bigrigbbbq.net.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Real Presence Live, it's Straight Talk from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Central.
You're addressing critical Catholic issues in a fun way.
Straight Talk is your opportunity to share questions and comments on topics relating to the faith or on things happening in the world around us with our local hosts and priests.
My question is...
I have some questions about the bishop.
Very good questions.
Thanks for the guidance.
Straight Talk, 9:30 to 10 Central, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings on Real Presence Live.
Value Visor helps people and businesses discover, improve, and get the value from their businesses. With multi-certified valuation and mergers and acquisition advisors, they understand the complexities of valuations and negotiating in the mergers and acquisitions marketplace. For more information, you can contact Jameson Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor, at 605-370-6931 or online at valuevisor.com. Real estate through Murphy Business, Dakota Lakes.
On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. For the Knights Locker Room Show, here's your hosts, Michael Promes and Dan Johnson.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School. The O'Gorman Lady Knights defeat the Brandon Valley Lynx 46-36. They moved to 12-2 on the season. Brandon Valley then falls 9-3. Number 1 defeating number 2, at least in Sportscasters polls. And one interesting little tidbit that our producer Brett Byler pointed out is this was the score of last night's O'Gorman game, except O'Gorman was 36 and Lincoln was 46. That's a fun anecdote.
Yeah. But, you know, when it comes to polls next week, I think we'll say number 1.
I think so as well.
Even when we got beat by Lincoln, Lincoln was ranked what? They were down.
They weren't.
I thought they were like 5th or 6th. Okay.
No, it was actually, here's how it stood this week. And this was about Tuesday it would have come out. O'Gorman number 1, Brandon Valley number 2, Harrisburg number 3, Stevens number 4, and Brookings number 5. I think Lincoln had a couple votes. They might have been like 6 or 7 or something if we want to talk semantics there. But I think Lincoln's definitely moving up to probably 3 or 4. Brandon's probably going to stay at 2, maybe even move down to 3. We'll see. And then O'Gorman's going to be number 1 is what I'm anticipating. But
so we beat 2 out of the top 5 teams in the last week.
That's right. And you look at the rest of their schedule, and they're going to have some tough teams. Yep. They play Harrisburg coming up. They do play Brookings coming up as well. And then they end their season against Washington, who is nothing to shake a stick at either. So O'Gorman has a tough stretch of games. But for now, they solidify themselves at least at the top for another period of time. Again, the Knights defeat Brandon Valley 46-36. Let's take a look at some of the scoring for these O'Gorman Lady Knights. Leading scorers, for the Knights tonight is Izzy Moore and Emma Ronsick, each with 13 points. We also had 5 points from Jakalenga Wenentanda. We had 5 points from Carly Kunkel, 4 points from Awati Okoye, and 3 apiece from Hannah Ronsick and Courtney Baruth. And that does it for scoring on this O'Gorman side.
You know, but the big scoring that I liked in there was Hannah Ronsick with her 3 there. End of 3rd or start of the 4th right in there. I can't remember exactly, but she hit that crucial three right down here. And that's kind of where it kind of seemed like, they were coming back. We can never get over that hump.
Right.
That 10, 12 point, 15 point, whatever, I know Coach wanted to push it up to 20, but, these ladies got to be tired. I mean, he was move the ball, and that's what they need to do, and we came victorious. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. You're listening to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. We'll step aside again. When we come back, hopefully we'll hear from O'Gorman head coach Kent Colesrud. We'll have our Knights player of the game coming up in a little bit as well, and we'll take a look at the next O'Gorman game. That's all on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagen Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Welcome back into the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Knights defeat Brandon Valley 46-36. We welcome in now O'Gorman girls head coach Kent Colesrud. Coach, congratulations on the win, and congratulations on the funny little scoring feat. 46-36 looks familiar, except you're on the better side of that transaction tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just really proud of the way we bounced back from last night. That was a tough loss against Sioux Falls Lincoln, and they played so well. And it was just kind of a frustrating night for our kids. And, boy, I thought we came out with high energy, high enthusiasm. And I love the way we played in that first quarter in particular. We were flying around all over the place. We were rebounding. We were getting out in transition. I thought we were executing pretty good. I thought we missed a few opportunities there on the scoring end, but I couldn't fault our kids' effort in spacing. I thought we were doing some really good things, and I thought it continued throughout the course of the game. Obviously, Brandon Valley is one of the top teams in the state. We have a lot of respect for them. Law and Kosher are very good players and just a really good supporting cast. So feel good to come away with a win and a bounce back after last night's tough loss. And scoring was a little bit slow in that first half, only scoring 17 points on your guys' side of the ball, but keeping Brandon Valley to only 3 points. And so when you look at that, the two sides of the coin, it really turned out to be a pretty darn good deal to start things off before things opened up in the second half. It did, for sure, and that does a tremendous job defensively. Coach Mattis had a great game plan. Our players followed through with it, did a great job, and it started with energy and effort, and kids really buying into what our game plan was. And 17 points at half. We felt like we left a few points out there on the board, so that was a little concerning going into halftime there. So some things we talked about, and I thought the second half, boy, we did a really nice job of spacing the court and being a little bit more patient. And reversing the ball side to side. They do such a good job of squeezing our paint players. Either before they catch it or when they do catch the basketball, and certainly we're giving Emiransik a lot of respect there as well. So when we were able to get the ball side to side a couple different times, I thought we did a much better job of getting the basketball into the paint, and some people making some really big. And came out a lot more aggressive than they were playing in that first half, but you guys seemed to match that absolutely perfectly. They started scoring more, but your team was able to respond just as well. No, I agree. That we talked about the first 3 more minutes of the third quarter were going to be huge to this game. Not that we needed to knock them out, but just to establish, that we were going to try to control the second half of the game, and we knew we were going to hold that team to 3 points. And they're obviously pretty skilled offensively and got some really good players. So we knew they were going to score some points. So we knew on the offensive end we had to have some good production. I thought Izzy Moore played a tremendous game. Some of those plays that she made were spectacular. And, just the rest of our kids I thought all played really well too. Emma made some big shots in there. And, just a really nice team win, and we needed everybody. Tried to really spin them in and out fairly quick, just try to stay as fresh as we possibly could so we can continue to play that hard on both ends of the court and transition both ways as well.
So, Coach, now you're done with like the long stint of basketball games. Well, it was 4 games in a week. You're finally done with that. You get a little bit of time off before you look at Harrisburg at the end of next week. What are you going to focus on in practice here coming off of this stretch and then looking into the future?
Yeah, that was the last 2-3 weeks have been kind of crazy. Kids have battled through it and done a really nice job. Take tomorrow off and just we'll talk about some things this weekend, just kind of regroup a little bit, but just kind of trying to fine-tune things on both ends of the court a little bit, and 4 days of practice, looking forward to that, and have a really, really good Harrisburg team coming in here on Friday night, so that'll be a great challenge for us, and then going up to Aberdeen Central on Saturday, that's never easy as well. So going to enjoy this tonight, get tomorrow off, and just get back to practice, and try to fine-tune some things that we need to do a little better.
All right, O'Gorman girls head coach Kent Colesrud. Coach, congratulations again on the 46-36 victory over Brandon Valley, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, you're listening to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll dub our Knights Pizza Ranch Player of the Game. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life, whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or an insurance analysis. Please call Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. Andrew DeMore and Thaddeus Barnes, financial advisors with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office, know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. Andrew and Thad can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs. Andrew and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Welcome back into the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. O'Gorman Knights defeat Brandon Valley 46-36 to move to 12-2 on the season. Saw a lot of good things from these O'Gorman girls and a lot of good things from these Brandon Valley girls, but we have to take everything we saw in this game, kind of throw it in a blender, hit pulse a few times, and pour out our Knights Pizza Ranch Player of the Game. And Mr. Johnson, who do you have?
Well, I see down here drinking chocolate milk right now. I see her down on the court. So we're going to give it to the 5'7" sophomore guard, number 13, Izzy Moore, with 13 points. But, critical. She was 4 for 4 from the line tonight. She had 2 critical free throws at the end. But I just loved the way she had that 1-3. I just love the style that she played tonight, the aggressiveness. She was here. She scored a basket. She got back in transition, defended the ball well in Brandon Valley transition, got back, defended that. I just think she just played a great, great game.
13 points on the night for the 5'7" sophomore guard, so congratulations to her. Our Pizza Ranch Knights Player of the Game, sponsored by Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls. Pizza Ranch has specials every day and a fun zone for your kids to play. Pizza Ranch can be contacted by calling 271-8646. We'll step aside once more. When we come back, a scoreboard update and get you some information on the next couple O'Gorman Knights games. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls has something for everyone. They offer a buffet featuring pizza and chicken. Pizza Ranch has daily specials as well as 5 party rooms and a dining area. You can also order online and they'll bring the experience to you. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagan Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
Welcome back once more into the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. The O'Gorman Lady Knights defeat Brandon Valley 46-36 to move to 12-2 on the season, but there are plenty of other games going on throughout the state of South Dakota as well. Here's Dan Johnson with our Jamison Rounds with Value Visor scoreboard update.
AA girls this afternoon, it was Pierre down in Yankton. Pierre won 57-38. Tonight we have Harrisburg who's playing at Watertown, which we'll see Harrisburg here next Friday night. They're number 3 coming into O'Gorman next Friday night on February 1st. And also in JV girls, O'Gorman won 58-37 over Brandon Valley. And sophomore, Brandon Valley won 55-52, which was a close one there at the end for the sophomore. AA boys this afternoon, Harrisburg was at Sioux Falls, Washington. Harrisburg snuck it out 65-64 over the Warriors. And right now, O'Gorman boys are at Brandon Valley with 2:50 to go in the game. Brandon Valley 56, O'Gorman 51, and we got a timeout with 2:50 to go out there at Brandon Valley, so we're keeping an eye on that one. Number 3, Yankton, which got beat by Roosevelt last night, is out going to Pierre playing the Governors tonight, and Stevens is down and playing Scottsbluff, Nebraska. And the boys, the Gorman boys, JV won 44-36 over Brandon Valley. The freshmen, they won with John Costello with 20 points. And this afternoon, the girls gymnastics team won the Metro tournament with 134.7. Also the JV won. So hats off to the gymnastics teams of the Gorman and stuff. So, but we're keeping it close, 56-51 in Brandon right now. The boys down by 5.
All right, and that's your scoreboard update, sponsored by Jamison Rounds, managing partner of Value Visor. Value Visor helps people and businesses discover, improve, and get value from their businesses. Jamison can be reached at 605-370-6931 or online at valuevisor.com. Real estate through Murphy Business, Dakota Lakes. So, what is next for these O'Gorman Lady Knights? Well, they have a little bit of a break, and then next Friday they take on Harrisburg here at O'Gorman High School. That's February 1st. You can catch that right here on Real Presence Radio Network. And then the next day at Aberdeen Central, that's a Saturday game tip-off at 3 p.m., so that's the next couple of games there. And for the boys, after tonight's Brandon Valley game, they're going to be going to Harrisburg on Tuesday. Brett, a 7 p.m. tip-off for that game, I believe, yes. And like I said, you can catch all the action right here on Real Presence Radio.
And, you know, 2 big games because, you know, you got Harrisburg ranked number 3, Aberdeen Central defending state champs up in Aberdeen last year. So you got 2 big games. And I know Aberdeen might be down a little bit, but, you know, you go up there and play in the hub city, anything can happen in Aberdeen. So.
All right, so be sure to tune in and follow us on Twitter. Search Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls, and you can catch all the action, and we'll let you know our broadcast schedule, or you can look us up on Facebook. Again, Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls. One more time, the O'Gorman Lady Knights defeat the Brandon Valley Lynx 46-36 to move to 12-2 on the season, and that's going to do it for us here from O'Gorman High School. For Dan Johnson, for Brett Byler, and all of us here at Real Presence Radio, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of O'Gorman Girls Basketball. I'm Michael Promus. Thanks for listening, and have yourself a fantastic night.
God bless.
Pizza Ranch and Funds.
On Real Presence Radio, this has been O'Gorman Knights Basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Hagan Chiropractic Clinic, Mini Critters, Barnett Vision Clinic, Crossroads, the Barnes DeMoore Group Financial Advisors at Morgan Stanley, Sioux Falls Catholic Schools, Jeff Alvey with Fair Tax Inc., John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company, Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agent Heath Dickelman, Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street, First Premier Bank Card, Sioux Equipment Company, Ide Bailey, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Mark Promis with Providence Financial, Big Rig Barbecue, and Jamison Rounds Managing Partner of Value Visor.
The preceding O'Gorman Knights activity has been a special presentation of Real Presence Radio Network. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.